All right, so for today's lesson, we have a couple things that we'll need to complete. One, as the directions state, this will be posted on Google Classroom. We're going to start by completing the business analysis assignment posted on Google Classroom. If you go to the classwork tab, it is this first one here. There's a list of a couple of videos to watch about some companies. Some of them are publicly traded and some of them are not. Actually, I think all of these companies are publicly traded. But just pick two of those videos to watch and then answer the question above, something that you found interesting about them. Just make sure you watch two videos. After that, you're going to go right down here and watch this quick video called The Latte Habit. It is about this decisions that we make, or seemingly small decisions, financial decisions that we make, seeing how over time these decisions can add up. Watch the video and answer the question. Once you've done that, you can pick up the handout here. It is Number Chug, What If You Invested That Latte? And so what we're looking at is what would be an item that we could forego without a significant amount of pain. Obviously, we don't want to give up eating. We don't want to give up medicine. We don't want to give up everything that we would need, something that would cause us significant inconvenience or quote unquote pain. We want to focus on the luxury, right? So a lot of us have that snack that we buy at the cafeteria or we buy in the morning, or maybe we have that extra item that we buy with a particular order. Before school, during school, or at lunch, after school, at night, on the weekends. If you don't have something, maybe think about one habit that you would want to change, or you could just use the $5 as a proxy for a latte. Again, referencing the latte in the video there. And then what we want to look at is what is the impact that can have over a long period of time. So you're going to fill in the item that you would forego and the price of that item. If you don't know the exact price, an estimate is fine. And then you're going to use this website here. It is a return on investment calculator to put some inputs in. The one thing that you would have to calculate is the additional investment. So that would be how much you would invest. That would be the cost of the item times 365 days a year would be your additional investment for a year. Everything else we kind of fill in. And then you'll get a report, much like we did with our compound interest calculator. You'll get a report and you'll be able to see what the impact of your choice would be. So how much would you have personally deposited? So we need a total amount, how much you would have personally deposited, and then what would be the total amount that you've earned from compound interest. Right? And then this would be a percentage. So if I ended up with $10,000 and I invested $1,000 myself, then that would obviously be 1,000 over 10,000 expressed as a percentage. Same thing with compound interest. Right, and then a couple of reflection questions. And then here, you're going to kind of toggle back and forth in the website, showing the values after inflation and before inflation, and you can kind of compare, and then any conclusions that you can draw from that. Okay. When you're done with that, you can go ahead and turn that into the sub. The last thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick up a sheet here. It says assessing your financial situation. So we're talking about decisions that we can make. We have a scenario here about a family, and we have all sorts of financial information about them. Now you can tell by the headline, credit card debt is going to be a big component of this. But what we want to focus on is what the title says is we want to assess their financial situation. So going through and reading over this paragraph, we have a lot of information about salary, expenses, houses, cars, savings accounts, retirement, student loans, a bunch of stuff. On the back, this isn't on there, but if you wanted to fill this in, or you could leave this up there for your notes, is we want to analyze this scenario in two ways. First, we want to look at what is their cash flow. And that is simply analyzing income versus expenses, right? On a monthly basis. I know the salary is an annual number, but we want to look at on a monthly basis, how much money do I have? And so we want to compare the salary or the money coming into the house, compare that to the money going out of the house, right? So what are their money coming in and what are their monthly expenses? Again, you'll see they have car payments, they have childcare, or they don't have childcare expenses, but they have other things. So what we want to do in the space here is we want to list the monthly expenses and then calculate, do they have any money left over at the end of the month? Okay. Likewise, we also want to look at their net worth. If you've taken accounting or familiar with accounting, we're going to look at what are their assets. So those are the things that they own. What are the liabilities, the things that they owe, debts, credit card debts, things, student loans, things like that. And then the net worth would be the value of your assets minus any debts that need to be paid back. Okay. So as an example, they have $7,000 in savings. Okay, that would be considered an asset. That doesn't go anywhere on the income and expense or cash flow. That would just be listed as an asset. So similar to what you did on the left side, go ahead and compare their assets to their liabilities and see if you can identify their net worth. The last thing that you'll do is you go back to Google Classroom, and then there's a question on here to answer. What are some things that family could do differently, or what are some things that they could change to improve on their financial situation?